about 2 inches. I always keep it shut. I hadn't opened it. I pulled it down and locked it. I came back downstairs and the alert cycled again, except this time it was different. Seek shelter immediately. He's already inside. I ran out the front door. I didn't grab my phone charger or my shoes. I just ran across the yard to Deb's house in my socks and pounded on her door. She opened it and her face changed when she saw mine. We called 911 from her kitchen. Officers arrived in 4 minutes. They cleared my house room by room. In my basement utility closet behind the water heater, they found a man crouched with a duffel bag and a modified FM transmitter, the kind used to hijack radio frequencies at close range. He'd been in there long enough that he'd eaten through most of a granola bar he'd brought. He'd been watching my house for weeks. He knew I lived alone. He knew my routine. He knew I had that weather radio because he'd looked through my kitchen window enough times to clock exactly where it sat on the counter. His plan was to use the fake tornado alert to send me to the basement, into the utility closet, where he'd be waiting. The thing he didn't count on, he'd modified the alert with a voice synthesizer that couldn't replicate the exact NWS tone sequencing correctly. Deb caught it in about 4 seconds. The second alert, the one that said he was already inside, the police asked me about that. Turned out the transmitter had a motion sensor trigger. When I came back downstairs after locking the bedroom window, I walked close enough to the utility closet door that the sensor fired and broadcast the pre-recorded second message. He programmed it as a backup threat, something to freeze me in place. Instead, it saved my life. The storm hit 40 minutes later, an EF1. It took off half of Deb's back fence and knocked a tree onto my driveway. I watched it from her living room window, wrapped in a blanket she dug out of a closet, drinking terrible instant coffee. She looked at me and said, "You know what's funny? Nothing yet." I said, "If he'd used literally any other emergency message, you probably would have just gone to the basement like he wanted." She was right. A generic tornado warning and I'm sheltering in place like a good little homeowner. But he used my address, and I've had that radio for 6 years, and it has never once said my address. Sometimes the thing that's supposed to scare you into the trap is exactly what gets you out of it.